Hey, what's up, guys? Brad here. So it has not been a good couple days. I found out, I think it was yesterday, my credit score dropped 103 points in 1 month. And I got an email that one of my credit cards was canceled. So, I just want to share, what's happening around this, because some of this stuff might be happening to you too, as banks start to tighten up and rescind credit. There's a lot of people who have a lot of credit on credit cards, and banks are getting worried about people's ability to pay those credit cards back with what's happening in the economy. So let me just take it from the beginning. So I got an alert through Capital One, and I decided, okay, I'll check my credit score. I see it went from 716 back in May, and now it's at 613 in June. So it dropped 103 points in 1 month. Now, my initial thought was, okay, somebody's stolen my identity. They've opened a line of credit in my name, and they're delinquent on that account. So I request my TransUnion credit report. Every year you can request a free report through the major three what are they called? Credit reporting agencies. So I requested my TransUnion report, and I saw there was one account delinquent. It was 68 days delinquent. Okay. Now it actually looked somewhat familiar, and it turns out this is a credit card that I closed. It's an account that I closed in February of 2020. So about 4 months ago, I closed this credit card. I had a balance on it. It was one of those 0% APR deals. So I had a balance on it. I paid the balance in full, and then I closed the card. Of course, the person on the phone, this was a Chase business credit card, Chase Inc. The person on the phone didn't tell me that I was going to have some interest that had accrued on my balance, and that the interest was going to come out in the next statement, which was after I closed my credit card. Okay. So I closed my card, I pay the entire balance, and then I have this interest payment that's past due, that's been collecting fees for 3 months or so. So I call Chase, and I pay it. It was like $127. And then I have them forward me to the collections department. And I ask, hey, how can I get this black mark off my credit report? It doesn't seem fair that, I called in, I paid off my card in full, and I closed my card, and the rep didn't tell me that there was going to be an extra interest payment that was due. She said, well, if it's our fault, I can have it removed from your credit report. So, she digs into a little bit, and she said, well, we sent you billing statements. They were emailed to you. I didn't see them. Maybe they were emailed, maybe they weren't. But because of that, she's not able to remove this black mark from my credit report. Okay. So, it's going to be on there for 7 years, which is quite irksome, to be honest. I've been building my credit for about 20 years now. I opened my first credit card through Capital One in 2000. Okay, it's 2020 now. 20 years of building my credit. And then, of course, today I got an email from Bank of America saying, unfortunately, we've made the decision to close your credit card on June 4th, which is today. Now, I have 7 credit cards. I had 7 credit cards. That one was the one I had the highest credit limit on. I had a $25,000 credit limit. So just like that, they closed it. I think I've had that card for 6-7 years, something like that. So that's gone. Now I have 6 credit cards, and that was 22% of my entire credit card limit, that one Bank of America credit card. So, who knows how many other of my credit cards are just going to get canceled because I have this massive drop in my credit score because of this one delinquent account that I had closed and didn't know that it was accruing, late fees. So I was a little heated earlier today. So it remains to be seen how many of my additional cards are just going to be closed because the banks are, tightening credit because of what's happening in the economy. All these people are losing their jobs. They're putting their, essential expenses onto credit cards because, there's no money coming in from jobs. Obviously, a lot of people still have unemployment money coming in. We've had one stimulus check. There may be more stimulus checks. But, for a lot of people, it's been a crapshoot getting these stimulus and unemployment payments. So, I can't complain too much. I've got 6 credit cards. I've got 87,000 credit limit. So, it's kind of a first world problem for sure. But, it just got me thinking, I'm curious how many other of my credit cards are just going to be canceled. And for you guys, how many of your credit cards are just being spontaneously canceled because of what's happening in the economy, because of what's happening with the banks tightening their lending policies? And then I just want to say one final thing. A lot of people look at credit scores as like their financial report card, okay? It's like that's what determines how trustworthy you are from banks. And they put a lot of weight, a lot of stock into their credit score. It's really important to them. And, I used to think that way. On some level, I still think that way. But credit scores are really the financial report card for employees, okay? It's really an employee kind of way of showing how creditworthy you are. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. But one thing I learned from Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he created the cash flow game, really changed my thinking about the importance of, not just credit score, but your income statement and your balance sheet in terms of those are the real financial report cards, okay? Credit score is kind of a financial report card training wheels version, okay? When you become, if you're talking to business owners, if you're talking to investors, if you're talking to people who have kind of transcended the credit score framework for, showing whether you're worthy of borrowing money. It's really the income statement and the balance sheet, your assets and your liabilities. What do you own? What cash do you have coming in? And then, what are your liabilities and where is cash flowing out? What does that whole picture look like? So, I'm trying to take this whole thing with a grain of salt and to realize, okay, credit score, that used to be really important to me. But my focus has since shifted to, really managing the cash flows in versus the cash flows out and building assets with those cash flows instead of spending the cash on liabilities. So, I'm trying to focus more on that, take some deep breaths. But, I'm curious to hear from you guys. What have you seen in your lines of credit? What are banks doing with your lines of credit as they really tighten up in this time of employment uncertainty, economic uncertainty? It's a crazy time. So I'm curious to hear from you. Let me know. Let us know in the comments if you've had any credit cards closed or other surprises from your financial institutions. So that's all I got, guys. Just wanted to give you that update. It's been a crazy couple days. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.